Welcome to the show. Now, our first guest is someone I didn't even have to think so much about. When I was thinking of who do I have first on the show, who has such an incredible story, who is very, very inspirational, who do I love? Only one name came to my mind, to be honest with you, and she's the perfect embodiment of a super achiever. She's achieved so much, hosted some of the biggest events on the continent, and she's managed to do so with such class, grace, elegance, and still leaves a little mystery to her life. Now, it's not secret that I absolutely love her, and I keep saying this on all my social media, and everyone that knows me really knows that I've looked up to you for a very long time, and to be seated here right now, like this moment, is really surreal. Welcome to the show, Flavia.
Thank you.
Thanks
Hey.
for being here. Hey.
I haven't seen you in, should it be 2 or 3 years?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think 2 or 3 years.
Yes.
And I remember we had a conversation. I can never forget that conversation. I think I just started doing work at Capital
Yes,
FM.
yes.
And you sat me down and you're like, okay, if you want to achieve, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do. And yeah, so what have I done so far? Like,
Listen,
do
you're
you
a
want to
shining
slap me
star.
sometimes?
Yes, I do want to slap you
Shake
sometimes.
me up.
But what we had a conversation on, I won't even delve into
Yeah.
that. That was personal between you and I.
Yeah.
I think you've done well to even be consistent in trying something.
Yeah.
You know, you figure it out on your way, and it's good. I think you've done quite well for yourself, to be honest.
Thank
You've
you.
stayed out of trouble.
I've tried. I've
You
tried.
stayed out of
Yeah,
trouble.
that was the biggest problem. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
You are a married
quite many
woman now.
oh, right.
First of all,
Thank you.
how has that changed you?
How has that changed me?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know which side to tell you, because I think marriage changes both of you a lot, the man and the woman. I think, in my opinion,
Yeah.
it changes the woman a lot more, especially if you're a career woman.
Yeah.
If you thought you were prioritizing, you throw that out of the window and you extra prioritize.
Yes. Yes.
You need to now think of another human being, and you need to take care
Besides
of them, take
yourself.
care of yourself, and it's just a lot more. Your planning gets even better, because I thought I was a planner, but I think I plan a lot more now that I'm married, because you need to plan just the two of you, of course, as a couple, and you plan for yourself, and you have to figure out how these two plans don't clash.
going to
and-
merge?
Yeah, so there's a lot more I have to think about now that I'm married, because there's somebody else who I have to sit down on the table with and say, babe, I need to do this. I need to achieve in this. This is my timelines. Can they work with the family's timeline? So it's just a lot.
Yeah.
But for the better.
But for the better.
Yeah.
What are some of the misconceptions about marriage that you had or that you've had? Everyone.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm just 4 months in, so I'm not
Yeah.
sure I'm the best to give advice. But I was given tons of wrong advice.
Wrong. Now you know it's
Yeah,
wrong.
I was given tons of advice when I got engaged. Not even like
Yeah.
close to my wedding. Everyone told me everything about, and I think every girl needs to look within their relationship. What kind of relationship do I have with this man?
Yeah. What works for you?
What works for you? Because a lot of people will tell me things, and I'm like, he hasn't done that, so should I wait
Things
for that to
like-
happen?
Things like what?
I don't know, because a lot of people were saying to force him to change in certain ways.
Yeah.
When you get into the marriage, make sure you still work. I'm like, as opposed to what? What I realized innocently, a lot of us women advise fellow women based on what we have in
Our
our relation-
experiences.
Yes, our experiences. So I didn't take it badly. I understood where they were coming from. I appreciated it.
Yeah.
But if I was to, for example, advise you and say, how is marriage? I would say it's just life.
It's part of life.
No, honestly, it's so deflating, because when you walk into marriage, everybody has told you it's this big balloon.
And then you get there.
And then you walk in, and there's no balloons even. It's just
Like
normal
nothing has
life.
changed.
Yes, the only difference is you now have somebody who's your partner.
Yeah.
And you have things on your fingers, honestly. But it's just life. You are the same person. You go to work the same way. It's just the same.
It's just the same.
Yeah.
And it's very hard for us to understand that, because I feel like people think that maybe when you walk into marriage, it's a whole new life. Like your old life stops right there, and
It
then
shouldn't.
your new life
God
begins.
forbid, it shouldn't.
Yeah.
I'd understand why it would be, for some,
Yeah.
hard to keep your previous life. Some people want to start a family immediately, and then maybe get get stuff with time, how you're going to handle everything. But let that be the reason. Let it be your choice for you to stop your life in a certain way. Although, Anita, I'll tell you that you have to change yourself a bit when you get into marriage as a woman. You now project differently. So I'm not saying that if you're not married, you don't project a certain poise, but you have to project differently when you're married. Your actions are now accountable to somebody else. So you need to watch what you do, you have to be very calculative about who you are, and you have to stay in a certain grace because you're now someone's queen, and the society is looking at you differently as an example. So there is that slight difference you might have to make, but it's not that hectic.
You know, with how our society is right now, and all the pressure they put on a woman, and all that goes into it, the marriage bit. Did you ever feel pressurized at any one time to get married?
I did feel pressure, but I'll be honest, it wasn't because of people. I had been very successful in my career, and I think in the onset of my career, I was ticking boxes.
Like this, done.
Ching.
Next.
This one, friends. So I was ticking boxes for a long time. And I gave myself a timeline, and I said in 5 years, I should have earned this much, gone this many places, invested here, and maybe gotten married. So it's not like
it was a maybe.
Yeah, I didn't want to get married because I was in love or I was happy with the person. It was just a box I needed to check. And I think when I got to the age that I had set for myself, and it didn't look like it was going to happen, and yet my career was going up and up, I started to question. You start to question and say, hey, why am I perfect here and I'm not perfect here? Yes, like you said, should I slow down? And lucky for me that when I had my low points, I stumbled upon self-love and I stumbled upon being grateful for what you have and being grateful in who you are. And what I did for myself, which is the best gift I ever gave myself, was just understand who I am, what I love, what I hate. Because as somebody said, before somebody comes in to say or ask you what you want or what you like, you should know
what you want and what you like.
So I discovered myself. I took my time and I understood myself. So I think I never got the pressure from people. It was always on myself.
And the standards you've set for yourself and the timelines. What does that journey of self-discovery look like? Because I'm sure it can be very overwhelming when someone is maybe stuck at a low point and they're trying to figure out, okay, now I'm hearing all these things, motivation, inspiration, self-discovery. Where do I start? What do I do?
I didn't start with that question, which was tough for me, because that means in the first couple of months of my self-love journey, I was falling and getting up and falling and getting up. If I had started with that, I would have told myself, have pillars of strength, pillars that you rely on or stand on to start your self-love journey. That, and believe it or not, especially for us women, is finances. Yes, I was working, yes, I had money, but I had not understood how to handle my money. And so I was not growing in strength financially. And when you have a weakness financially as women, it's a bad weakness, because that could easily lead you to the wrong relationships as well, or for you to make the wrong decisions in your career, in life, to family. And I would have said family and friends, but let me say family alone first. Family is a very strong pillar that you need. Talk to your family, heal relationships that you didn't even realize needed to be healed, because you're going to stand on their shoulders for a lot. When the public doesn't understand you, when friends don't understand you, you should know family will be right there. So that is the second pillar. One was finances, second was family, and then friends.
Now that's a tricky one, Flavia.
You know that.
It is a tricky one. How do you know, especially being in the position that you're in, having a lot of influence, being known by everyone. Sometimes it's very hard to know who's in your corner for the right reasons and who just wants to be your friend for the right reasons.
I was a bit lucky with all my friends, I think, which is why people were saying, oh, I don't get it. None of your friends snitched about your wedding. I said, my friends don't even know who to report to.
They're friends.
They're not in that business. They're not anywhere, apart from, I think, Tattoo, who everybody knows.
I love her.
My friends are not in the business. These are lawyers, these are business women. They do not have a clue where to find the tabloids. So, and that's not their day to day. They're busy. By the time they get to hanging, exactly. But that I was lucky in that, but I also think I got lucky later. I molded these friendships later in life. For a long time when we were younger, you pick the friends who were cool.
Yeah, who can hang out where you want to hang out, who can, oh my God, yes.
Am I preaching? You're like, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like,
You
let's
pick
go.
you pick the
Yeah.
friends who aesthetically look good with you when you're younger. Our clique looks good. Our clique is bad. Our clique is goals.
We're the baddest.
We're the baddest.
Oh my God.
So for a long time, when you're
Yeah.
younger, you're picking friends who kind of look good, are kind of cool, or kind of say things that you approve of. Do you understand?
Oh, wow, yeah.
So it takes you a long time to grow if you are in that kind of circle. So you need to have friends where when you sit down amongst your friends, which I do now, and everybody talks, I'm there like, I really shouldn't talk because what am I going to contribute? Because I mean, look at all that brilliance and all of that. And there were also steps ahead of me. They were already mothers, already wives. So I was looking at what I can possibly aspire to, what it looked like. So I did make the same mistakes younger. I did have friends where, honestly, our biggest goal of the day was to go and hang out and eat. Spend some money, cheddar.
Look
We got
good.
money. We got yeah.
Yeah.
Look good. And then I had to wake up and say, so I'm not keeping my money. I'm wasting it.
Yeah.
And then I'm growing. So
What am I doing?
What am I doing? And so it's okay to make the mistakes. Just say, okay, now it's time to wake up.
Yeah.
Now it's time to make the right friends. Because as I said, it's one of the pillars you'll need in self-love. You need the kind of friends who are not going to tell you, Anita, so what's up? Are you in love or something? That's not going to be their conversation. Their conversation is, are you leveling up? I mean, are you going back to school? Okay, you're not going back to school. Are you doing business? No, I'm not good at business. Okay, so are you getting a job? No. Okay, so do you want to go get masters? I mean, what are you doing with your life? Not 24/7 when we're sitting, we're talking about how men love us, men are sending us flowers,
Yeah.
babe, boo, babe. Because the more they do that, you're not able to discover yourself. You're more concerned about how another human being
Is looking at you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So your friends are very valuable. Your friends are the ones who are going to say, you mean you have the Fabiola podcast? How can I help? How can I support you? I'm not in your business, but how can I support you? And you say, well, you're on Facebook, spread the word. You need friends who are going to say, oh, you're selling that product? I'll buy.
Yeah.
You understand? One of my closest friends was actually my maid of honor. She has a daycare center. When I have kids, I'm not going to say, oh, you know we're friends like that, right?
So take my child.
No,
and
I'm
we'll
looking
see
forward to
about
the
it.
day I have to get
supporting
money
her.
and pay her.
Wow.
Because then that's what friendship
That's
is.
major because right, like here in Uganda, and I'm sure it's not just here. There's a way we take advantage of our friends, or we take it for granted that they're our friends. If they have something, instead of supporting them,
Yeah.
you say we're friends. That's why we're friends.
Give me.
Yeah, give me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So make the right friends in your self-love journey. So like I said, you need family, you need finances right, you need
yeah.
friends, and do not escape this, you need God. I know you're thinking, why didn't you bring that first? All of you would have switched off because like, oh,
God, preaching
spiritual.
now.
Yeah. But
Are you
need-
spiritual?
Yes.
Or are you religious?
I'm very, very. You know, I think God is my best friend, so we have that kind of relationship. Yeah,
That's
but
what matters.
but I do, conform to the going to church and reading the Bible. I conform to that, but I'm aware that everybody has their own belief. So I'm going to come out and say that as much as I believe in God, it would be nice if I told you to love God too. Or whatever you believe
That's
in,
on you.
whoever
That's
you
up
believe
to
in,
you. Yeah.
you need that as a pillar. If you lose that pillar, you will lose your sense of direction. Because when friends let you down and family lets you down and there's no money coming in,
Who do you talk to?
who do you talk to?
Yeah.
So those pillars are very strong. You need them. If you're going to start loving and understanding yourself, those are the ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you read a lot?
Yes, I do. I do. I think last year into this year, it got a bit tough for me to read because of time. I sound
Yeah.
bad saying this because I'm also the same person who say, find time.
Find.
But I was
Yeah.
stretched. I was working overtime. I was doing so many things. And so, but I do love reading. So before that and now I do go back to reading.
Yeah. So taking you back a little bit when you talked about friends, because that's very, very important, and it's something I really struggle with, to be honest.
Yeah.
Have you ever been at a point in your life where you feel guilty because you have this dream, you have this goal, you have this vision for your life?
Yeah.
But then, of course, when you look at the people you want to call your friends, they don't really reflect that. And then you really know that you have to move on. You have to move on from them and try to find other circles that will empower you or make you a better person. That guilt that comes with it. Am I being a bad friend? How do I move on from this group of people to another group or be by myself for a while as I discover what I really want to do? That guilt of, wow, I'm being a bad friend, I'm being selfish.
You know, I think I went through that in the beginning, not really the beginning of my career, but the beginning of the success. Because, you know, sometimes you work, and then the success starts to show up. Where people would start saying, oh, you think you're special.
Yeah. yes.
You think you're famous.
Oh, she thinks she's all that.
You think you're all that.
Yeah.
Or they say, we're hanging here, and you say, oh, I can't make it because I really have to go do something. And you'll say, I have the Fabiola podcast, I have to go record. I mean, it's important for me because it's my baby. And they say, oh, so now because you've got the podcast, you're a bit special. I wish I could tell the Flavia then that that's one of the signs that that's not your friend. Do you know what I mean? That's one of the signs. Because
just them saying that.
Just them saying that. Because I look at my friends today, and if they tell me, let's go have a drink as girls, and I say I can't make it, my next reason better be something that is valuable in my life. Otherwise, if it's just sleep, they'll tell me get up. But if I dare say, I have this work, okay,
and they're like, oh,
first finish and then call us.
Yeah.
That's a sign that somebody is willing to see both sides of you, not just the side that benefits them when they need it, but the sides that also say, you know, my friend is doing this. So think of your friends in this way. Okay, so this is how you need to put it. The guilt will be there eventually because you'll feel like, I really let go of that friend. For a while, they were there for me in certain times.
Yes.
I wish I could have kept them as a friend. But here's how I feel. Don't sit them down and say, listen, friend, it's not working. we can't do this again. No. But here's what I found was useful for me, how I did it. I would, when success started happening for me and I started to figure out what my goals were and what I needed to be and who I needed to be, I started to go that direction. That's all I needed to do.
That's it.
I just went that direction. If it necessitated for me to be online reading something that was necessary, I will spend that hour reading. If you don't understand, then you don't understand. If tomorrow you try again and you find that I'm doing something valuable, then automatically you've realized you and I are not on the same path. We're not even close. You start to eliminate yourself slowly.
You start to be uncomfortable.
You start to question yourself, and you start to leave me. So you are no longer my friend, and you will make excuses. You'll kick rocks. You will speak ill of me, but I will continue to go my way. Eventually, you'll either try to say, what did she do? Why can't I do it? Or we'll just forget each other. So guilt is there, and the guilt will be there, but it wears off. After a while, because then you start to have things that click. You start to go up as Fabiola, and then in this level, you find another circle of people who understand that level. And you soon forget
that this ever
happened. Or you start to say, yes, this is what friendship looks like. So I'm not saying you should abandon the friends you have just because you're going a different direction. Some people actually need guidance. Some people would prefer that
in your life, so you guide them.
Yes, some people are there because they'll never understand things. So why don't you just explain to them how to get there? So maybe they'd love to be as ambitious as you. They just don't know what that looks like for them.
What do you think about this notion that you have to have friends that are older than you? So you can look up to them and not all of you being in the same age bracket, because there's not much to learn from each other.
I mean, don't
or is
get
that
me
adding
wrong.
too much to friendship?
I mean, when you're looking for a friend, it's like looking for a partner. And someone says, if you're going to look for a partner, look for someone who's between 25 to 20. No.
Yeah, that's too much science.
When you're looking for a partner, it's are they kind? Are they hardworking? Are they, you have your own list. Do you connect? Same thing with friendship. First of all, define what a friend is to you.
That's how you.
To some people, friends are people who hold their handbags, and people who tell them you are beautiful.
That's not nice.
To them, if you don't check that list, you're not my friend. So first define for you. When I talk about a friend, what am I talking about? You know, some of us have friends who we don't talk to that much.
But you know
But
they have
I
your
know
back.
that's my friend.
Yes.
Do you know what
I
I
have
mean?
some of those. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So because you've defined for yourself what a friend is. So same thing with everybody. They need to just define a friend for me is loyal, is kind, is this, is that, is that.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, so I have something for you.
Oh, ooh.
Thanks for coming.
Yes. You should have said something.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that's
I've
for
already
you.
seen
I hope you
that.
like it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Should we tell them or
Yes. Should I share?
no? Should we tell them?
Oh, the camera guy's like, yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you why you have picked the right gift. Well, first of all, you picked a book. So
Yeah.
obviously, you kind of know me.
So the 80-20 principle.
The 80-20 principle, because
Yeah.
I've also started the minimalistic life, you know, living minimally, you know, you use less
Yeah.
things, have less things, declutter your life. So achieving more with less, yes.
Absolutely. That was the perfect
Yes.
book because you have a lot of things to do in so little time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Thank you. You're very thoughtful, or she knows me. One of the two. Either way, I appreciate this.
Yeah.
gift.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much for coming, Flavia.
Thank you.
All right, there you have it. Our very, very first episode. It's been so exciting. It's been so fun. It's been very educational. I'm inspired. I hope you're inspired too. Just make sure you subscribe, you comment below, you like, and share the video. Let us know what you like. Let us know what moved your heart. Let us know what made you think. You know, just tell me everything. Let's have a conversation. Also, do remember our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, fully active. Just join the conversation, be a part of the family, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.